Alright, Cara. I'm just going. Alright, Cara. So we're looking at bearings today, which is a big feature in your exams. Bearings. Hope this pen holds. Alright, what is a bearing? Bearing. Well, in very simplistic terms, you use bearings when you're trying to, if you're traveling from, if you're in a certain place and you want to, go to another place, you need to work out the direction you need to go. So a bearing is the degree, the degree of the angle you need to travel to get to a certain place. So, so for bearings, it's really, first thing you need to know about bearings is that you do north, south, east, and west. Alright? So say for example you're in point A, which is a town, and you want to travel or fly to okay, let's say actually let's make this into like a, let's just say this is Jakarta, and you want to go to Bali, Denpasar, which is Bali, Java, and so we would say this is point A, which is Jakarta, this is point B. If you were to go straight, so on a plane or whatever, you wouldn't go north because Bali is not north, Bali is east. Now you need to work out the angle of that. So what you'd need, you have a protractor, which should look like this. It tells you your angles. From 0 to 180 degrees, to 90 degrees, to 45, 135 degrees. Or you could have a full protractor. Full protractor. So you need to use these instruments, Cara. Yeah, you can't just guess. You need to use either your protractor or a 360 protractor. And you need to put it on point A. So on this one, so forget about this one actually. You need to use a 360 protractor. 0 degrees is north. 180 degrees is your south. 90 degrees is your east. 270 degrees is your west. So if I was to put that over A, and I wanted to say, and I want to tell someone I'm going to Bali or Denpasar, the bearing I would say would be closer to 90 to 95 degrees. Because the direction from A is that direction. It's east. That's the angle I'm going at. Yeah? So, a lot of your questions are going to say, find the bearing of Denpasar or Bali from Jakarta or Java. Yeah, they're asking for what angle or what bearing of travel do you need to take? What angle do you need to travel at to get from A to B? So that's what they're saying. So when it says get the bearing from Jakarta, it's saying get your bearing from A. So it says if for example it's saying get your bearing get the bearing of Bali from Jakarta, it's saying work out your angle from Jakarta to Bali. Okay, this is in preparation for this kind of stuff. And when you read the bearing, it's really important you go in a clockwise direction. Yeah, clockwise. Please don't read it in the other direction. This is the direction you need to read at. Okay, and so even if you're reading it from Denpasar to Jakarta, you don't read it to the left. You have to go all the way around to get your angle. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to some questions. Hopefully that makes some sort of sense. All right. First question. I've got quite a few questions here. North. Okay. Find the bearing. Sorry. Of P from M. So what's it saying? Remember the Barley thing, it's like, so you want to go to P, but it's saying find the bearing of P from M. Okay, so you need to start M. You need to work out the bearing. So what bearing or what degree do I need to travel at to get from M to P? This is a very simple one. It already tells you 125 degrees. Yeah? In many cases, sometimes they won't give you they won't give you that. Just one second. They won't give you that. I just need to get my thing. But say, for example, that let's do some stuff here. Yeah, say for example that. Couldn't you see that? Say for example they don't give you 125, and they just give you 55 degrees. You've got to use that 55 degrees to help you work out what this angle is. So what you have to do is, because the angle of a straight line is 180 degrees. Yeah? If you think about it, if you have a circle, the angle of that is 360 degrees. But if you cut it in half, if you put a straight line in it, the angle becomes 180 degrees. Okay, so you've got to go 180 minus 55 degrees will give you 125 degrees. Yep. Okay. So in your exam questions, they won't give you the answers. They say 125 degrees. What they'll probably do is they give you the angle below the angle you actually need. So they give you 55 degrees. What you need to do to work out this angle is 55 degrees minus 180 degrees to give you the angle here. Yeah. And 125 degrees equals the bearing from M to P. Okay. Right. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So again, this same question, find the bearing of M from P. So imagine you're here and you need to work out the direction, the angle of direction you need to travel to get from here to M. Okay? And they give you one reading, which is this one here. We don't use this is not the answer, yeah? Why isn't it the answer? Because this point of reference is behind you. It's to use 124 degrees. It's not on this angle. If we did 124 degrees here, you'd end up. You wouldn't end up in M. Yeah, you'd end up down here somewhere. Yeah, down here somewhere. Yeah, you need to work out this trajectory. Yeah, not this one. This will give you the completely wrong answer. 124. Okay, you need to work out this one here, this angle here, this interior angle here. Yeah, but 124 is very useful because it helps you work out what the angle is here. Okay, how do we do that again? This is a straight line car. Almost all of them. If it's straight like this, it tells you that the sum of the angles of the line are 180 degrees. Yeah. So what you need to do to get, we already know that's 124 degrees. So if there's 180 degrees in the line of an angle, then you must mean that whatever's left here, you can get if you subtract 180 from 124. Which equals 56 degrees. So the bearing of M from P is 56 degrees. The angle of direction you need to travel from P to M is 56 degrees. All right. This is my second attempt at this because I messed up the first attempt actually. All right. That one. Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to the question you got in your exam, which I think you struggled on. And N. Again, imagine you're a person starting here and you're trying to get to P. And you need to work out the... So actually, no, this is the wrong one actually. The question is you start from here, trying to work out how to get to M. So the question is, find the bearing of M which is this, from P. So the word from is really important in this type of question because the letter which follows after from tells you where you're starting from. So from here is P. So you're starting from P. As you notice in the other ones, find the bearing of P from M. So we start from M here. Find the bearing of A from B. So we start from here. So whatever letter comes after from, so from B, that's where you start from. That's the angle you're starting from. Okay. So from P. So we're starting from here. So we're trying to work out what direction, what angle this guy needs to take. You need to take to get from P to M. And this one's a little bit tricky, yeah. But there's a neat little trick of interior angles you can use to work this out. So you've got no angles here, but you've got one angle here. So remember, the angles of a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So to get this angle here, we minus 180 from 107, which leaves you 73? Is it 73 degrees? Let me just double check that. 180 minus. No, sorry, my bad. Yeah, 73 degrees. So this is 73 degrees. Now, I don't know if your maths teacher told you this, but this is where knowing the sum of interior angles. So I know that 73 degrees. If it's 73 degrees here, I know that this is also 73 degrees. How do I know that? Because when you get this happening, when you get this situation happening, so it can look like this, or it can look like that. This angle here, we'll just call this X, and this angle here are the same. And this angle here, which we'll call Y, and this angle here, which is also Y, are also the same. So in this sense, 73 degrees we know is that angle, so it must mean that's also the same angle. And same as well, we know that that's 107 degrees, so this must be 107 degrees as well. Yeah? So this is a useful trick. Like, when it comes to interior angles, when you have a situation like this, which you'll have a lot, just imagine this, draw this, so this has got north-north. This angle here is always the same as the opposite interior, and this angle here is always the same as opposite. Think of like a figure of 8. They're the same as each other, okay? So we know that, so we know this is 73. Now this is not the answer, because remember I said you have to read your bearing in a clockwise direction, so you need to read it this direction. But 73 is useful because you take 73, and also one more thing as well. Because 73 has been read there, you can no longer read this as a straight line. You see that this thing here rotates beyond the line. So it means that the rotation now is beyond 180. So you have to do it in the 360 thing. Yeah, the rotation is that because the angles now are beyond 180. This is no longer the line of a 180 degree line. It's now 360. So to get the bearing now, you just do 73 degrees minus 360 degrees. Minus 360, and you will get 287 degrees. So this chap is going to have to turn 287 degrees to get to point M. Now, the reason why we had to do it by 360 here is because the rotation was more than 180 degrees. Yeah, you know, in this in the example of the say first one, this one, where it's 56 degrees, the bearing was only 56 degrees, so it's alright that we didn't need to go beyond 180 degrees. But if the bearing is more than 180 degrees, the sum is obviously, that's when you start taking away from 360. I know it's very complicated. I wish I had more time to explain this, but anyway, I hope it gives you some understanding. So when you rotate clockwise, and remember 73, you've got to think of this as only a slice in a big pie, okay? And so you're going to take 73 minus 360, that will give you 287 degrees, and that is the bearing of P to M. Okay, really important you remember this. It's called the interior, so alternate interior angles, which you can use on for almost all your questions in your exam, which are about this. All right. Let's move on to this one. Alright, here we go. So find the bearing of x from y. Okay? So that's it. The letter after from is y, so we're going to start from here, y. And so imagine we're here, we're trying to get to x. Now they've already given us the degree, 330 degrees. And now to work out the angle we need to take from here to there, easy, 330 from 360 equals 30 degrees. And that is our bearing from y to x. Yep. This one as well, so find the bearing of x from y. So look where from is, and look at the letter after from, which is y. So we start from y again. Remember, we have to rotate clockwise. So we already have the sum here. Because this is all 180, we're trying to work out this entire thing. So we're trying to, all we need to do is just, we've got this bearing 35 degrees, and we know there's 360 degrees in a full circle. So all we need to do is minus 360 minus by 35 degrees minus 360, which will give you 325 degrees. So the bearing of x from y equals 325 degrees. Okay, so I hope some of this makes sense, Cara. I'll be sending you some test sheets to see how well your understanding is on it. But I guess the most important things are rotating. What you're trying to do is, I know you're just trying to find the angle of these things, and you need to look at if it's a circle, if yeah, you're working with a circle, or if you're working with a line. If you're working with a line, it's 180. If you're working with a circle like this, or like this, then it's 360. Okay. Oh god, that was incredibly confusing. I hope it doesn't mess you up too much. Okay. All right.